We welcome in the superintendent of Jackson Public Schools, Jeff Beal. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
It's a beautiful day. This is gorgeous outside.
It is. What an awesome summer day. And so far, what a great summer we're having in a great town with so many great things to do. And you've got, thanks to JPS, kids are being well taken care of. The summer meals, the programs, I think, started last week.
We're out. You can certainly see the chow bus moving around. We've got, I think, 32, 33 different sites. So I'm hoping that folks will take advantage of that. There you go. You can see kind of where they're at and when up on the screen, and that's also available on our website at jpsk12.org. So I hope you'll check that out as well. Couple things a little different this year, obviously, as we move post-pandemic, right? So in years past, the last couple of years, you could come up and if you said, I need 7 meals, we gave you 7 meals because a lot of that federal dollar kind of provided that grant to do that. We can still provide free meals to children. The difference is they have to eat them on site. You can't just grab them and go, take them and go. The grant won't cover that any longer. So you got to eat on site. And then adult meals. In the years past, again, we were able to provide adult meals. You do have to pay $3 for an adult meal, but it's a pretty good setup for folks. So you can bring your kids up, and you and yourself, and you can have a meal for $3 for the adult. And like I said, if you just want to feed the kids, they can come and get all the food they want. They just got to eat it at site. And that's the difference in our Meet Up to Eat Up. And that's actually kind of the pre-COVID rules. So we've just kind of reverted back to how that grant operated prior to COVID.
Well, Brant was saying last week that they want, even if it wasn't a rule, they want kids to eat it there because, they don't want it going bad, being dragged around in a backpack all afternoon.
Well, or what tends to happen, they set it down and then they forget about it, or they come back to it later, and it might not be refrigerated. It might not be, something that needs to be kept cool before they eat it. I don't want somebody to have the milk that's been out in the sun all day, if you will, right?
All right. And then that's Monday through Friday, but then you have some things for kids and families on the weekends.
Yep, and there's food boxes that are going out every week. And so, if you need to pick those up, I think those are available on Fridays, and they're first come, first serve. And we hope you'll come in and get those. And there's veggies, there's the cheeses and meats and whatnot, and those a great opportunity to pick up some food that way as well. So again, much like what we do, Jackson Public Schools has been trying to do this. We've done this for years. We really want to make certain that our students in our community is taken care of. And so when I look at our students, how can I make sure that they're continuing to get the quality meals that we know they need year round? And so even if they're not with us during the summer, we want to make sure we're still taking care of them.
Yeah, it's amazing. JPS food service is busier in the summer than during the school year.
They are absolutely everywhere. And you can see the chow bus kind of moving around and visiting the different sites.
Yeah, I think we're going to go visit the chow bus sometime this summer.
That would be awesome. I love that bus. It's a fun event. We took an old bus that we had retired out and gutted it, and they put the counter seating inside and the coolers inside, so you can literally get up on the bus. You sit in a little cafe like you would on the bus. It's a neat experience.
Maybe we can rent it to go to the Tigers.
Well, there's no seats on the bus. That's the problem.
Okay,
It's just the bench seating, so you can't go to the Tigers at the chow bus. But we're not just taking care of kids with food, and that's the thing. I talk about summer, but we've got a really extensive summer school program going on right now, you got elementary programming is at Cascades. The high school is obviously at the high school, and middle school is at the middle school. And that's going to wrap up here pretty quick. We've got a ton of kids involved. I think we opened up, extra section at several different grade levels because we know that we've got some learning loss associated with COVID. I mean, you can't go through what we went through the last couple of years and have kids that are right where they want to be or right where we would like them to be. And so we've invited a lot of kids to our summer school programming. The high school secondary programming ends July 8th, and then the elementary programming ends a week later, July 15th. So that programming is happening right now, but it's important to know that it's not, just because summer got here, people just didn't disappear off into the ether and we're off for the summer. Nobody's off for the summer, everybody. I'm just going to tell you right now, there isn't a teacher that's sitting here going, I'm off. They're all working right now, either preparing for next year, or they're coming in doing summer school, or they're working the camps. I mean, I got people everywhere, and it's wonderful. If you see JPS staff, if you see a teacher out at a restaurant or at the grocery store or whatnot, please say thank you. They were warriors. They were Vikings this year. They truly just did great work. They took care of our kids, and they continue to take care of our kids, planning and prepping for tomorrow. I love this group of people.
I agree. Thanks, teachers.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you do get some time to relax this summer, though. The plans include getting school ready for next fall, and that will also include hiring. You've probably got a few people you got to hire.
So we've been hiring all along, and there's interviews going on at Reynolds Hall today, without a doubt. We had a good hiring class that we just brought before the board last night. And it goes with some, the retirements as well, and so you end up with some folks coming in and some folks going out. But Jackson Public Schools is in the middle of hiring. There's lots of positions. Whether you're a certified teacher, we want to talk to you. If you want to be in custodial, I got you there too. If you want to drive a bus, please come see me. I got you there because I need bus drivers, and those, bus drivers can get paid up to $22 an hour. I mean, they're $23 an hour. They start out $18. I mean, it's pretty good money to start out with, and it advances pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And those folks, I mean, it's not like it's like people think bus drivers and they go, well, I don't have anything, to do in the summer or whatever, so I'm going to have to figure that out. We find work for everybody all year round. I mean, trust me, if you're willing to work, we got you. But we are obviously hiring paras and secretaries and the associate teachers, kinds of the TAs. So there's a lot of positions, and so whatever you kind of looking to do, JPS is looking to bring you on board. And so I'm hoping to see you come down, talk to us, and we would love to talk with you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the state of Michigan is going to contribute toward school education. So you have to make you have to decide your budget actually goes into effect July 1.
Yeah.
So are you set? Do you have your budget?
We do. The board approved the budget last night, and we have to every year. I've been doing this a long time, so this is not new to me. And in years past, I've seen the budget come in all the way in October from the state. So sometimes we get started, and most of our funding. So when you think about, you guys are tax funded, well, most of our funding comes from the state, and that comes in the form of a foundation allowance, right? A per pupil dollar amount. And so we typically get a set dollar amount. This year it's $8,500, and we are budgeting $8,700. I may have said that wrong, $8,700, we're budgeting $89. And so we budgeted for a $200 per pupil increase. And if I look at what the Senate said and what the House has said and what the governor said, you know what it all adds up to? Nothing, because they haven't signed a budget yet. So until they sign a budget, we don't really have one, and we don't know. So we make some estimates. We don't know how many kids we're going to have. We make some estimates, some projections based on 5-year trends, and we don't know exactly what the dollar is from the state. So we make some estimates, and what we do is we put together a projected budget, and then we come back and we amend that budget again in November, December time. Once we know what the revenue side of it looks like, we'll then bring it back to the board and the public in March, when we can track our expense side, so we know how much our money is, and then we know how much is going out. And then we close out the books in June, and we amend it one last time with, this is how we ended up. And we did pretty well last year. I mean, all things being equal, I think we're adding just under $3 million, $2.8 million to the fund balance, which should bring our fund balance up to ballpark 17 million plus or minus a couple pennies, which is really good.
Rainy day fund.
Well, it is, and I've done this for years, and for years it's cut, and we've had to right size the budget or live within our budget. So the fact that we're able to add a little bit of money to the fund balance, what I know is that the board and that the future of Jackson Public Schools is getting stronger every day. What I know is that we'll be using those dollars for years to come, because those are going to fund programs that we're going to need, not just today, but into tomorrow and the year after and the year after and the year after. So when I got here in 2014, I think our fund balance was 4%, and it kind of hovered around that. And then they came up with a law that said, listen, if you fall below 5%, you go to a state reporting. And so I think we were only below 5% for 1 year, and then it's been kind of on the incline ever since. And some years we're able to put away just a couple $100,000, and obviously this year's a little bit better than that. And we're going to continue to kind of work in that direction. I think fiscal responsibility is absolutely crucial. And at the same time, I mean, if you think about all the things that we're able to do, right, like the one-to-one devices or the new school buses or the, those types of things, when I look at, there's a lot of curriculum going in. We're offering an extensive summer school program. We offer tutoring throughout the year. I mean, when you look at, what we're doing beyond kind of just the normal scope of things, it's not a matter of we're pinching pennies to save them for the rainy day. We're just being fiscally responsible with our taxpayers' dollars, so that ultimately we can continue to provide for our students and build really a much stronger Jackson Public Schools.
Also contributing to that and to school districts nationwide, the American Rescue Plan dollars, ESSER 3 funds.
Yep.
And that's you've been having some public meetings about how the dollars are being spent.
So we are. So actually, we've been talking about ESSER funds. So the American Rescue Plan, that's the federal dollars that came in, and for JPS, it's not insignificant. It's $22 million in ESSER money, and it's over 3 years, and we haven't actually received any of it yet. So we write that grant, and that's how much we can draw down. And there's a lot of allowable expenses. Back in November and December, we reached out to our community, and we sent hard paper surveys. We did electronic surveys. We pushed it out through our webpage and through social media and whatnot. And what we heard from our community is we want the money to go towards staffing, learning loss, social emotional learning, some of the facility upgrades, things like air conditioning or air handling, air purification, those types of things. And that's where we're putting the money. I mean, it's a big grant, so a lot of it is going a lot of places. But the reality is that like $18 million of that $22 million is going specifically into salaries, and that's smaller class sizes, that's more teachers, that's more social workers, that's more counselors. I mean, so it's, and that's not like a 1 year deal. That's $18 million over several years. So it's, and then $4.5 million or a little bit more than $4.5 million is specifically targeted towards learning loss, towards catching up kids who are behind, right? Who the pandemic really kind of crushed. And so when I look at those kids who just weren't successful during the pandemic, that's what we're doing. I mean, there's $4.5 million specifically. And so you see programs like summer school come about. And while we've run summer school before, this is extensive. Again, like I said, it's several classrooms per grade level. So there's a lot going on.
Sure. All right. And is there room for new students to enroll at JPS?
There's always room for new students to enroll at Jackson Public Schools. Actually, and now's a good time to be thinking about it. So if you're out there and you're thinking about what should I do in the fall, if I've got a new kindergartner and I missed kindergarten enrollment or a roundup, come visit us. I've got programming that's right for you, whether it's a Montessori education or a balanced calendar education, whether you're on the north side or the south side, or I mean, wherever you're at, we've got some schools. And I got people in the buildings who would love to talk to you about the program that they offer. Middle school at Parkside, we'll have to get Krista Jarvie on. Krista has been the associate principal for a long time. She just took over as the lead principal for Parkside, filling in for Jeremy Patterson, who stepped out. So Krista is there and would love to show you around Parkside. Again, some of the best programming, and the construction is actually wrapping up there right now. So you get in, get to see some of the new building,
Yeah,
the
makes
safe
us
and
see it.
secure entryways, and the new science wing and things like that. So, I'd love for to show you that. And then Monica Pierce up at the high school. If you're looking for quality education, if you're looking for a place for your child, and you want to know what does this look like, if you're looking for a change, come see us, and we'd love to walk you through our programs and give you a tour and let you see firsthand, kind of put your hands on it, put your eyes in the space, and go, this is really why. And I could go on all day, but the truth is the people in the trenches are the ones who can really tell you why this is the best place for your child to get an education.
Righto. We'll travel on the child bus this summer and visit Parkside. How about that?
That'd be great.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
JPS Superintendent Jeff Beal. Lots more